Wilhelm Martin Philipp Christian Ludwig Liebknecht was a German Social Democrat and one of the principal founders of the Social Democratic Party. His political career was a pioneering project combining Marxist revolutionary theory with practical, legal political activity. Under his leadership, the SPD grew from a tiny sect to become Germany's largest political party. He was the father of Karl Liebknecht and Theodor Liebknecht. Life and work. Liebknecht was born in 1826 in Gießen, the son of Katharina Elisabeth Henrietta and Hessian public official Ludwig Christian Liebknecht. Liebknecht grew up with relatives after the death of his parents in 1832. From 1832 to 1842, he went to school at the Gymnasium of Gießen, then began studying philology, theology and philosophy in Gießen, Berlin and Marburg. After some trouble with the authorities as a result of participating in student radicalism, Liebknecht decided to emigrate to the USA. While on a train to a port city, quite by chance, he met the headmaster of a progressive school in Zurich, Switzerland, and Liebknecht impulsively decided to accept an offer to be an unpaid teacher at that school. Thus he found himself in Switzerland in 1847 as the Civil War began in that country. He reported these events for a German newspaper, the Mannheimer Abendzeitung, beginning a career in journalism that he would pursue for the next 5 decades. When revolution erupted in Paris in February 1848, Liebknecht hurried to the scene. He arrived too late to do much in Paris, but he did join a legion that was traveling to Germany to instigate revolution there. During the poorly planned expedition, he was arrested in Baden and charged with treason. On the eve of his trial, revolution erupted once more and a mob secured his release. He then became a member of the Badische Volkswehr and an adjutant of Gustav von Struven fought in the ill-fated Reichsverfassungskampf. After the revolutionaries' defeat, he escaped to Switzerland and became a leading member of the Genfer Arbeiterverein, where he met Friedrich Engels. In 1850, Liebknecht was arrested for his initiatives to unite Switzerland's German workers' associations, and he was banished from the country. With few options available, like many veterans of the recently failed revolution, he relocated his exile to London, where he stayed from 1850 to 1862. There he became a member of the Communist League. During these years, he developed a lifelong friendship and collaboration with Karl Marx. In 1862, after an amnesty for the participants in the Revolution of 1848, he returned to Germany and became a member of Ferdinand Lassalle's ADAV, the precursor of the SPD. From 1864 to 1865, Liebknecht also worked for the magazine Der Social Democrat, published by Jean-Baptiste von Schweitzer. However, he soon found himself in disagreement with the paper's friendly position toward Prussia and its new minister-president, Otto von Bismarck. So Liebknecht quit the editorial staff and was forced to leave the ADAV due to pressure from Schweitzer. After being evicted from Berlin by government authorities, Liebknecht moved to Leipzig, where he met August Bebel, with whom he founded the Sächsische Volkspartei in 1867 and the SDAP. In 1870, when the Franco-Prussian War began, Liebknecht used his newspaper to agitate against the war, calling on working men on both sides of the border to unite in overthrowing the ruling class. As a result, he and Bebel were arrested and charged with treason. It is worth noting that Liebknecht opposed the war regardless of which side started it. His call for revolutionary opposition to the war directly contradicts what his party, the SPD, would do in 1914 when World War I began. At the time, with Liebknecht long dead, his successors opted to back the German cause in the war. In 1872, both Liebknecht and Bebel were convicted and sentenced to 2 years of Festungshaft. This was one of 16 times that Liebknecht's politics resulted in his conviction and incarceration. After being re-elected to the Reichstag in 1874, Liebknecht played a key role in the merger of the SDAP and Lassalle's ADAV into the SAPD in Gotha in 1875. He also became publisher of the newly founded party organ Vorwärts, arguing for the integration of Marxist theories into the SAPD's program in his articles. From 1878 to 1890, the German government outlawed Liebknecht's party, but the terms of the law allowed the party to participate in elections and its elected delegates to participate in the Reichstag. Liebknecht used his position as a Reichstag member to criticize the political situation, and he opposed the tendencies in his own party toward anarchism on the one hand and accommodation with Bismarck on the other. Maintaining a radical and unified stance, the SPD emerged from outlawry in 1890 with 20% of the vote in the Reichstag election. In 1891, Liebknecht became editor-in-chief of Vorwärts, and one of the originators of the SPD's new Marxist-inspired party platform. Throughout that decade, he continued to serve in the Reichstag and to appear at political conventions of the SPD as a prominent referent. Despite his advanced age, he also was a major organizer of the Second Socialist International. Liebknecht died on 7 August 1900 in Charlottenburg, a suburb of Berlin. 50,000 people joined his funeral procession. Publications: Robert Blum und Senzeit, Nuremberg 1896. Ein Blick in die neue Welt, Stuttgart 1887. Die Emsche Depesche oder wie Kriege gemacht werden, Nuremberg 1895. Robert Owen, Sein Leben und Sozialpolitischen Werken, Nuremberg 1892. Grund und Bodenfrage, Leipzig 1876. Karl Marx.